This is Canada's Parliament, where all Canadians are to be represented by their members of Parliament. This documentary is going to examine political party discipline that happens at Canada's Parliament and how it encroaches on democracy. In the House of Commons, members of Parliament vote and debate on things that impact their constituents, and this is where the majority of party discipline occurs. Party discipline is a term that describes the tool of certain political parties. It's basically a principle in which all members of Parliament in a political party vote together on every occasion as predetermined in the party caucus meeting and enforced by a party whip. There's different levels of severeness to party discipline. Essentially, the party whip is an MP in charge of ensuring that party members show up to vote and that they vote in the way that the party wants them to. If a member of Parliament does not vote in the way that the party discipline describes, then discipline is often given to that member, and that comes in various forms. Repercussions can include being rejected from the party, having your party position taken away, and being forced to not ask questions in question period. Party discipline is a form of political communication in that it communicates to Canadians what the political parties stand for. It tells them where they're willing to draw the line. It can be a method to achieve a party or government goal, and ultimately, it communicates to constituents whether or not their concerns are considered and or important to the party. A relevant case study for party discipline that happened in Canada happened on November 2nd, 2011, when both NDP MPs John Rafferty and Bruce Heyer went against the NDP's official opposition and voted with the government to help abolish the long gun registry. They did this because their constituents wanted them to vote in favor for the long gun registry. However, NDP leader Nicole Turmel, who was leader at the time, and her party leadership disciplined the two MPs swiftly, and they were pulled from their positions as official opposition critics. They were unable to sit on committee meetings, and they both had the privilege of speaking in question period taken away from them. This caused a lot of controversy, with the Globe and Mail, the National Post, CBC News, and CTV News all weighing in. Everyone could find the news story everywhere. Different constituents and interest groups all weighed in on the situation, including Mike Reeder, Executive Director of the Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters, who stated the obvious, that they had represented their constituents, the very reason that members of Parliament were elected in the first place. The aftermath of this case study was definite controversy. People started to discuss whether party discipline was right or wrong, or who could tell a member of Parliament that they could not represent their constituents. Party discipline was seen to hinder constituent representation in this regard, and it also really impacts our government, because our government is a representative democracy, and at least we're supposed to be. So if we're allowing party discipline to control what people are allowed to do, then that really calls into question the efficacy of representative democracy in Canada. This case highlights the dangers to proper constituent representation when party politics and discipline interfere. This can be argued as a form of political communication that, on the federal level, can be used negatively and not for the constituents' best interest. Party discipline really can hinder democracy. It does this in the sense that it hinders the fundamental freedom of speech for members of Parliament, who really should be expressing views in accordance with their constituents, and it encroaches on the democratic rights of Canadians by silencing them through the discipline of their representatives, and it really should be relaxed to produce a healthier environment for Canada's government. From this brief examination of party discipline, I want to leave you with a question of, is this a form of political communication that we want for Canada? Do we want to include this? Do we want to keep this in our democracy? Is this really essential? Thank you.